Nuestro invitado de hoy ha sido una voz clave en el hip hop alternativo desde los años 90, cofundador del grupo de Pharcyde, que redefinió el sonido de la costa oeste. Por si no fuera suficiente, desde el 2005 ha colaborado con Gorillaz, primero en el emblemático álbum Demon Days y su más reciente Cracker Island. Constantemente ha participado en sus giras compartiendo escenarios como con grupos de The Clash, Robert Smith, The Cure, por decir algunos. En la actualidad está participando en África Express. Cuéntanos, Tero, ¿quién es nuestro invitado?
Híjole, qué tremendo invitado. Es un honor de tenerlo y voy aquí a cambiar a inglés para que nuestro invitado también nos
Por
entienda.
favor.
Bienvenido, Bootie Brown. Bootie Brown, welcome, sir. It is great to have you here. What an honor.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
That is awesome. I was looking forward to this interview so much, and big fan of your music. Big fan of all the collaborations you have been doing, and it's an honor to have you. Welcome to Narrativas Creativas, which means creative narratives.
Creative narratives. Okay.
This is
That's
our
a
little
good one.
show
That's a good one.
here. Good. Without further ado, sir, let me just go straight to the question. So my first question to you is, why are you who you are? Simple question.
Wow. He said simple question.
Very simple, yes.
Uh, I think you wow, that's a deep one. I would say, man, the creator, I guess he was bored and decided he wanted to do something different, and gave me a little free will to kind of choose what I want to do. So if that makes sense,
Totally does, absolutely.
yeah,
Sort of a
that's
freedom to create, and I mean your road has been, I mean, you started out as a dancer mainly, and then you became a rapper, and I still think you combine everything very creatively. So my next question to you is, what does creativity mean to you? What does it mean to you?
um for me personally, I think pushing boundaries in some sort of way, like basically challenging, because I think you can always do something that's comfortable and easy, but I don't know if that's for me. I would say for me, that's not
Yeah,
necessarily creative. I think when you want to be creative, I think you have to challenge yourself. You have to kind of push a boundary. You have to, possibly do something different.
get out of your comfort zone, and I like that. I like
Exactly.
that description very much, and I totally agree with you. So it's, you find creativity in things that you sort of haven't tried before.
Yeah, and you have to, a challenge, I mean, I'm not saying it has to be something difficult that you can't accomplish, but just a challenge in your own way of just kind of like, okay, like your mind just kind of shifts to do something a little bit different than what you usually, used to
I
doing.
love it. I love it. I love that too. And finding these spaces where you just sort of new territories where your creativity can bloom, because it is, uncharted territory. So that's fantastic. And where do you find inspiration in your life and in your work? Where does inspiration come to you from?
I think you just get inspiration. I mean, depending on the person you are, I think when you wake up and you just take that first breath, I think inspiration starts at that point because it's just so many things around you that you can grab inspiration from, whether it be uh something depressing or something that's very, happy, joyous, you know, these times, I think unfortunately, like especially in California in the States, I think like, you could just with everything just going so left or so crazy right now, it's just like the inspiration is there to actually create something, as we were saying, going back to the first question, to actually create something different and to have a different expression about what you want to kind of present to the world or deliver that in a certain way.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, the world is always a crazy place, and there's so much going on. I think to be able to find inspiration, as you well said, in like the also the bad stuff, not only the good stuff and the happy flowers and smiling unicorns, but also really on the day-to-day life that surrounds us. I like that very much, Bootie. Thank you so much for that. Now tell me something. I mean, you have collaborated with wide diversity of artists, from Gorillaz to Africa Express. Uh, how do you sort of manage that variety? I mean, there's so many different ways and points of view, and different artists and so many egos, I'm sure. How do you sort of combine all that in your personal creative process?
That goes back to like I said, your first question, where the challenge, like when you get around a bunch of people, um, and I think I don't I try not to box myself in a certain category, like, oh, I just do gangster rap, or I just do this type of music. I think I with time and with age, I tried to look at things in music, not necessarily in a category, not like,
Okay.
oh, I'm gonna do rock, or I'm gonna do hip hop, or I'm gonna do I just try to base it on like, I want to make some music today. I don't say, oh, I want to make a rap song, or I want to make a, you know, this or that. Like, I just say, oh, I want to create some music today. Whether now where that leads, I don't necessarily know sometimes, but
That's beautiful.
you just kind of start.
So can we expect a romantic pop song from you anytime soon then?
Yeah. Yeah,
Excellent. I
I
love it.
have it in
Yeah.
the works. I have for sure. Yeah, for sure. I have things in the works.
Beautiful.
I have a lot of stuff that I hold on to, and I think I think every musician, like, I'm I don't know if every musician, but I think a lot of people, I'm like my own worst critic. So a lot of stuff I just sit on for like years and years, just kind of deciphering, like, am I gonna release this, or is this good enough, or is people gonna understand it?
Yeah,
So,
but you can always combine them. I'm not a musician. I'm a board game designer, so I've designed board games, and it's a similar process where you create a lot of things and components and mechanics, and you sort of save them, and then along through the time and through the years, you sort of remember you have that, and you can put those pieces together and create something truly new and unique, which I find fascinating. I sort of
yeah,
listen
I,
to
I think
you.
what
Yeah,
I think with anything is the same. It's like, uh there's an amount of risk, and then there's a amount of work that you put into it, and and timing. Like those are kind of like the things that you kind of have to, if you get all of those and they're working for you, then like you can create something magic.
absolutely, absolutely. And let me ask you this: your participation in the Africa Express, how has it influenced your sort of perspective of a culture or collaboration? Because this is, I mean, it mixes. I mean, there's some Mexicans there. I think Luis Almaguer is part of the project. Uh, how does it, how does it feel, and how does it influence yourself to have such a wide variety of cultures working together?
Well, I know Damon is just like one of those, and when I say Damon Albarn, just basically one of those people that kind of just like off the cuff, kind of just thoughts of just the way that he wants to do certain things.
Yeah,
Um, and they basically just invited me to come down because, I work with him on, numerous projects. And so he was like, come down and kind of fill it out and just see. But it was just very interesting because, it was just like, how can I say, a very tribal kind of energy that was there, being
nice.
that you had people from Africa come down with like handmade instruments. You had Mexican musicians, singers, uh Los Primos, I think that's their like a horn section
Yeah,
came, and man, they were just like, they were incredible. Like they were like the workhorse of everything, and that kind of was like the glue, because like everybody wanted horns on their track, and so it was just one of those things where like one person would kind of just be that energy that would like combine this and that together. So um it was incredible. Like I mean, like for what it was, I mean, we did the show and it was just like, okay, what is this actually leading to? Because we did the show really ahead before we started recording. And
Wow.
after we did the show, it was just like we just sat back for like 4 or 5 days and just, people were just setting up their little stations outside in the hotel rooms, in the little just wherever. And it was just recording and just bouncing around from place to place and just feeling the vibe. So that it was very interesting and very enlightening on what you can do, and the project is out now, so
Wow.
I'm hoping people like it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to really getting into it, and I love listening to that, what you're saying, because sort of the unity in diversity, and like get the whole world together, unite ourselves through creativity and music, and dancing, whatever it is, the form of expression we can share, and it's so uniting. I find it so refreshing, being originally from Finland, and living in Mexico and traveling around the world, and I think what unites us, the things that unites us, are more than the things that divide us.
Divided.
So yeah,
Yeah. And I won't hold it to just the musicians. Like there was people there that was doing camera stuff.
yeah,
There were like sound people there. You had the staff from UK. So I think it was just like just everything combined. Just, nobody was. I mean, we all went to a family-owned restaurant and ate at one point, and it was just like, okay, like it was just felt like a large family reunion at that point, and it was very nice. It was very nice.
awesome. You gotta, Booty, you gotta take me next time as the water boy. You got to take me along. You got to promise me that. I'll find something to do. I promise. Anything goes. Oh, that's amazing. I'm really really happy for you. You had that experience, and let's hope for many more such great collaborations and projects. So I think that's a bread of life. So I wanted to ask you also, what sort of advice would you give young artists or upcoming artists, be they may be singers or dancers or whatever, who are trying to sort of find their own voice in this world that is changing so much, and it's so fast, and it's so demanding to be commercial or monetizable, or some of those things that sort of drive today's capital world. How would you inspire those artists to stay true to their own self?
Well, I think whatever you're doing, whether it's art, whether it's music, I mean, in a creative space, you you still have to practice. You still have to practice your craft. I think that's like the most important thing is like really putting the hours in to master whatever you're trying to do.
Sure.
Um, and I mean, I was always told like there's a certain level of risk that you have to take. Like as we were saying, like the comfort, like you have to if it's something that you believe in, like you're gonna at one point you're gonna have to decide your comfort zone. You know, you leaving Finland to come to Mexico, I can imagine that was a great challenge to say, hey, is this gonna work out?
Sure.
But those are the things that you have to do as far as an artist. Like, like you may be at your lowest of lows, working in a fast food restaurant and have nothing to your name, but like, okay, I'm gonna take I got $2, but this $1 is gonna go to this, and I'm gonna use this $1 for that. So I think that amount of risk and the practice, and at even though it gets hard sometimes, you have to kind of believe in yourself,
Yeah.
because a lot of people may not believe in what you're doing. They may not be responsive to what you're doing. And so you actually have to have a little self-confidence in what you're doing. And I think if you can kind of get that all together, you can kind of I won't say on the winning side, but you can be on the side that you can progress to where you're trying to go.
That is some beautiful advice right there, Rudy, and thank you so much. I think I'm gonna close with that because it was such well put. I think believe in yourself, keep the faith, so to speak. Keep working, and just keep going, keep going. There's as Churchill famously said, if you're going through hell, just keep going. So that is some good advice. Bootie, it has been such a pleasure talking to you. Let's hope we can get you on the show again in the future, and let's keep up the channels open and keep on talking. Thank you so much for visiting us today.
I'm here whenever you need me. And lastly, don't forget the man upstairs. You know what I'm saying? I have to give a shout out. You just don't, everybody don't believe, but if you do believe, that's somebody to really just say hey sometimes and give thanks,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Bootie, so much. A big hug to you, brother, and let's talk soon again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Tero, por tan interesante plática. Su voz y su camino creativo nos recuerdan que la inspiración está en todas partes, ya sea en una ciudad, un viaje o en una canción.
Así es, padrísimo. Qué gusto conocer a tan gran artista, ¿verdad? Como es Bootie. Un gustazo. Muy bien, gracias.